Testing. Welcome to Flosstube. Hi friends, welcome back to Dawson Stitchery, a Flosstube channel here on YouTube where we talk about cross stitch, knitting, crocheting, any other craft adventures I get up to. So if you're new here, welcome. I've gotten quite a few new subscribers and I appreciate that. You can find me also on Facebook as Bridget Nicole Dawson and Instagram as Dawson Stitchery. So thank you all for following along with me. It is Friday, August 7th. And as you can see, I got a mic. Hopefully you can hear me a little better and not the air conditioner that's right beside me, but I'm not going to turn it off because we had another heat wave today. It was so hot. And then of course, like later on, we had a big old summer thunderstorm and lots of rain and stuff. So, but anyway, let's get into it. My plans for this video, I have a couple finishes. And then I also have some whips, lots of awesome stitchy kindness, and vintage haul that I got at a yard sale. And then actually today I stopped at a new one of those creative reuse stores, and let's just say I hit the mother lode. So hope y'all will stick around and watch that, but let's go ahead and get into the finishes. So I finished up my son's ornament. This one's for my 3-year-old. And let me show you the original pattern. I will let you know I kind of left off a few things in this pattern. Honestly, I was over the Christmas stitching, especially the ornaments. I mean, I love doing them, don't get me wrong, but here is the original. As you can see, I left out the bird. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. And I missed doing a little sprig of leaf on his hat, but I think he looks good. I think he just looks like he's like waving or doing a little dance or something. I don't know. But I showed my son, he loved it, so that's all that matters. And then I finished my husband's ornament. Sorry, I don't have the original picture, but and then there's also some creative liberties on this one as well. As you can see, the words really aren't center with each other. I kind of like messed that up. I thought they just like lined up perfectly with each other here. But then later on I was like, wait, this is gonna be off. But there he is. So happy with those finishes. The snowman, I used the the fabric that came with the kit and the floss. I did run out of white floss, so I had to grab some from Stash, and I think it turned out pretty good. And it looks like, I think this was like a 16 count Ada. No, this is 18 count Ada. I was kind of surprised. Where my husband's ornament, it was from one of those leaflets. And so I just pulled some 14 count Ada from Stash, and I didn't have all of the called for colors, so I just picked from Stash that I thought looked good. So those are the finishes. So now let's get on to the whips. So let's start with this. Which one should I start with? I got 3 of them here. Let's start with this one. I am participating in a SAL for the month of August for Lauren at Curly Q Stitches. She is doing a SAL for her birthday, and she is calling it the Just Winging It SAL. She invited anyone to participate and stitch a pattern that had a bird, butterfly, anything with wings. So I picked this whip that I had already started, and I was like, this is a perfect time to get some progress on a bigger project. And as you can see, it has 2 birds and a butterfly, so it fit in perfectly. And also the colors, it kind of reminds me of Lauren. If you like bright, bright colors, go give her a watch. She has so much fun with colors. She is always cooking up something, picking out her own colors for a pattern, whether it's fabric, flosses, or whatnot. Of course, anyone I ever mention, I tag down below in the description. So if you need to go remind yourself of her channel name, Curly Q Stitches. But there was the pattern, and this is what I have so far. I did have in the pink, some of the pink flower. So last weekend I put in some of the blue and the stems. And I will admit, I am off. I counted wrong somewhere in there, but I'm going to either have to figure it out or frog it or fudge it. Usually I'm team fudge, and that's probably what I would do this time around too. I feel like a design like this, it's so organic, you're not really going to tell, especially if it's like one square off, one thread off, whatever. So that is that, and I am using all of the provided kit materials for that one. It was a kit. I believe my husband found it on Amazon. I think I had it linked in my list or something, and he bought it for me. So on to the next whip. This next one is Erica Michaels, the America Berry. Someone was so kind enough to send this to me. It was a free pattern at local shops, and I don't really have I have sort of a closest one. I guess it's like an hour and a half away, but that's a little far for me right now. But so trying to think of the details. I am doing this on a 32 count Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Lugana in Haystack. So I got a small start. I would like to get a lot more progress on this. I would like to get it finished before the end of the year. I'd like to gift it to someone else so they can stitch it. And I'm so sorry. I don't know what's been bothering me. It's been either allergies or some kind of head cold. I don't know what's going on. I know a lot of people are kind of going through it right now. So, all right. My next whip is, I finally started it. If you didn't see, I've been trying to post a lot more on Instagram, and of course I post daily on Facebook if you're ever interested in seeing what I'm up to. But I finally got in the fabric for a Worthy Patriot. This is just my working copy. That's why it's black and white. I might have to go get a drink of water. But here is my little start. I am so happy with the fabric. I'm so glad that I waited. I think I started this like the last week of July. But I am stitching this with all of the called for, obviously fabric, floss. It calls for like DMC, Classic Colorworks, Wheat Dye Works, and I think a couple General Arts. So that is all the whips that I have currently to share. I had forgotten to share my knitting progress. Sorry if this is probably some sort of out of order. I had to take the mic off because it ran out of battery or something. I don't know. Still trying to figure that out. My husband bought it. So knitting progress. I have a finished baby sock. I knit this up for my 10-month-old. I used the Crazy Sock Ladies Littles pattern. She has come out with a pattern with little feet, for little feet. So yeah, I think it turned out good, but I think it might have turned out a little big, which is better than too small. But of course I gotta weave in my ends. And I was afraid I was gonna run out of this green yarn, so I ended up using some of the black and white yarn from my socks previously. I know the black and white yarn is the Patton's Croy sock yarn, but hopefully I can finish up the second sock. That's all the green I have left. I'm happy I'm using up scraps. That's a good thing. And then I am almost finished with my sock. Here it is. I am on the decreases of the toe. I'm ready to Kitchener the toe. I was gonna do it tonight. When I'm Kitchering up the toe, I need to concentrate, and with my sons running around, it's kind of hard. But I think this sock ended up kind of big. But if you remember, it was too tight. Maybe if I dry it, it'll shrink up a little bit. And I need to weigh this yarn because I'm kind of afraid I don't have enough for the second sock. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking it. I probably have more than enough, but we'll see. I need to weigh it. And again, with my sock, I'm also doing the Crazy Sock Lady vanilla sock pattern. And the type of yarn I'm using, I don't know if yeah, I have the label right here. I have it. Ooh, where's that? It is from the Sheepyshire. Actually found this secondhand. It's their stable sock in the colorway Skipper. I really like that color yarn. That's why I restarted it, because I was stitching up with the wrong needles, and so I started it over because it was too tight. But that is all the knitting I am sharing today. And let me get back to the part of the video I was at. I guess next, let's get into Stitchy Kindness first. I have a couple things of Stitchy Kindness, and then we'll do haul. So sorry everybody, I had to ditch the mic. I really like the way it sounded, but unfortunately the battery died, I think, because I've filmed a couple clips and no sound. So that was a fail. So let me share the Stitchy Kindness. My husband's boss, she gave me some Stitchy goodness. She gave me this little notions pouch with some sewing needles, some sewing pins, scissors, needle threader, all the goodness. And she also gave me one of her whips. Unfortunately, she said her eyesight just isn't being kind to her, and so she gave me one of her whips. And it's one of those, I'll show you the pattern, one of those baby quilts with the deer and the bunnies and the butterflies. It's so cute. I don't think I've seen this one before. She was doing a really nice job. So thank you so much, Trish. I really like this. And my family will probably remember I have one of these baby quilts, and I think I started it in like middle school. It was to be for a baby, and now he is graduated out of high school, so I don't think he would want it. Maybe if he has kids, he'll get it one day, but it was just one of those things, oh, I'm gonna make this for the baby, and it never happened. But that's okay. So I need to pull out some of my abandoned whips with you all, and we can kind of see, is it a frog or finish or whip or UFO? So, and then she also gave me some embroidery hoops, so those will come in handy. Thank you again, Trish. Whoops. And so the next thing we're moving on to is haul. So I have a lot of secondhand haul. I guess this 36 count coffee stain Cedar River linen fabrics is haul, but it's now a whip. But I do have a lot of secondhand haul, and I'm so excited. So let's get right into it. This first set of haul is from a yard sale. I happened to stop at a yard sale the other day, and you know, I looked around, found a couple things, and I was like, you know what, let me just see if they have any cross stitch that I missed or anything like that. So when I got up to pay for my things, I said just to ask, do y'all have any like cross stitch or knitting or anything of that sort? And she was like, oh my gosh, actually I do. I have some at the house that I've been wanting to get rid of. So she ran to her house and ran right back, and she had a whole stack, like even bigger than this, of vintage cross stitch magazines and pamphlet leaflets and things. So I'm going to show you a few. I'm not going to bore you too much because I know not everybody's really into the vintage like I am, but and then if you aren't into it, I will probably be posting some of these up on my Mercari page for sale. And just so you're aware, like the proceeds from my Mercari currently is going to my student loans. So if you feel like supporting me in that way, I'd really appreciate it. I just like to get rid of my debt. So here's this first one, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. I'm sure everybody's, you know, heard of these. I thought these would be so cute as like little smalls. And then this one's Minnesota Fabrics. Oh, it's some like applique patterns and things. So there was some like quilting and things too. Here's some sweatshirts. This one says, I'd rather be stitching. Has anyone ever done the sweatshirts? I think they'd be really cute. There's another Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. Classic cross stitch. Let me show you a couple more. Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. Look at that big goose. Look at that big goose. This reminds me of my mom's kitchen growing up. She had the geese, and then later on she still has it up. She actually has blue and white check all around her kitchen. It's really cool. I like it. I mean, I grew up with it, but here's another Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. I found some different ones I didn't have. Of course, you know, the duplicates I already have, I'll put up on my Mercari. The little duck, the little girl or little boy. Guess you could interpret it either or. It's a really cute scene. I love beachy stuff, but I don't decorate with beachy stuff. Like, I feel like if I had a beach house, I would stitch all the beachy things. And then this last one, I was really excited about. Lisa from Black Coffee and Grits. She, I can't remember. She has this booklet, but I can't remember which one she's stitching. I don't know if it's the one on the cover or maybe this one. I know it's one of the deer type animals. So I thought this was a really cool booklet. I really like the white-tailed deer. My husband, he'd probably like the bear. He likes bears. So I was really excited to get this one. And that's all I'm gonna share for that. I don't wanna bore you all too much, but this next one, you're gonna wanna see everything. Everything. I mean, there's a little bit of vintage, but mostly it's fabric, floss, and more modern patterns. So stay tuned. Okay, this is truly epic haul. So let me tell a little bit of background about it. I went to a new creative reuse store near me. It's actually near my work. It is in Winchester, Virginia. It is called Art Again Thrift Shop. And so I found lots of cross stitch, lots and lots of cross stitch stuff. So let me start with the floss and the fabric that I found. I found a little bit of floss, but I was really excited with what I found. I found some cottage garden threads. It doesn't have a name, but I picked it up. I was like, if anything, it'd be cute for like a monochromatic piece or something. No, it does have like a little purple in it. So, and then I found some dinky dyes. If you're unfamiliar with these, I know cottage garden threads, I know they range about like $5 a skein. I think dinky dyes is about the same, but it is silk. It is so nice. I don't have any dinky dyes at all in my stash. Just look at the colors. This one's really fun. And then I found a little bit of Classic Colorworks. And so, oh, some good colors here. Okay. Glad I picked this up. Here is some bamboo. It's got white. And then black coffee. And blue corn. These are all really nice hand-dyed variegated threads. And this type is just 100% cotton. Finely gold. Four-leaf clover. And rain shower. So that is what I found threads wise. And let's get on to the fabric. This is really good, y'all. Okay, this is some Witchoat half yard of 32 count, touch of yellow linen. And then there's another cut of linen in here. I'm assuming it's 32 count as well. But that one. And then this one says 2 half-yard pieces of 18 count Aida. It's just some like white and cream Aida. I just figured it'd be good to have some big cuts, and if anything I could have some fun dyeing some pieces myself, so I thought that would be fun. Here is Fabrics by Stephanie, 18 count Aida and slate. So this is some like hand-dyed fabric. It's really nice. Sorry y'all, I'm gonna fold these back up, that way I don't have too big of a mess, even though I already have a mess. I'm not gonna take this one out. It's 18 count vintage country mocha. Everybody knows what that is, what that looks like pretty much. And it's not hand dyed, it's printed, but it's still a really nice neutral. I want to take this one out. I haven't taken it out yet. This is another 16 count. It's Dapple by Picture This Plus. Okay. This is a really nice cut of fabric. And this is hand dyed. So, very nice. I won't bore you with putting it back in the plastic, but. And I just like this color blue. It's 14 count Aida. Here is another 18 count slate by Stephanie. Fabrics by Stephanie. Okay, I'm not folding this right. There we go. And then 16 count Picture This Plus Haunted. This one's a really big cut. Oh my goodness. I definitely scored. Whoever donated this, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so, so happy. Found a nice home. And then I found some of these, I think it's Zweigart printed fabrics. I might have seen these on Amazon. No, it's Lakeside Linen, or Lakeside Needlecraft, UK. And these are all 16 count, but they're printed, but they're nice looking. Thought they'd be fun. And then this one, it's really cute, the daisies. This is like a paisley. There's some butterflies, leaves, and then some type of like script writing. So that is all the fabric I found. Let me get to the patterns. Okay, let's get to the patterns from the Creative Reuse store. So I did find a couple of vintage ones that I liked, but mostly it's like the newer-ish stuff. So I thought this one was really cute, an old-fashioned Christmas. Really like the house in this one. And the wreath is really cute. I just thought this was really nice. And then another vintage Christmas. I can't get over vintage Christmas. This was so sweet. Christmas designed and counted cross stitch. There's like all the designs. I couldn't help it. I thought this kind of looked like my two sons. Or maybe it's a boy and a girl. I don't know. Or maybe two girls, but. And the next one, hands-on design. This was when they were working with Priscilla Blaine from Stitching with the Housewives. It's really cute Christmassy patterns. I'm gonna have an avalanche. Find somewhere else. And then I found two Primrose Cottage Stitches patterns. They had some other ones, but they had like, it was like the bee theme. I'm not really all about bees. I don't want to stitch bees because I don't like that they sting you. I don't know, that's just me. Is there something that you won't stitch? I know there's some people like they won't stitch spiders or, but these are two fall patterns. This one's Autumn Alphabet and I love fall most of all. So I really like Primrose Cottage Stitches. I found an animal cracker. Here's Scarlet. I showed this to my husband, he laughed. He's like, why is it wearing a dress? Here is a Heart and Hand, a couple of their wee patterns. This one's from 2025, so that one's pretty new. And then this one's 2003. I didn't know they did the these in like fall. I know they did like the Christmas ones, and like I really like the wee Santas. Those are so cute. Here's, I think these are a couple older patterns, but they're not too old. But here's the drawn thread. I still think it looks pretty modern. It says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." I'm just a sucker for Christmas. Is anyone else like that? And then I don't know how to pronounce this designer name. Rivaris. They have an Etsy shop, Facebook, I don't know. But it came with the little charm. It's a hot cocoa pattern. I thought that was really, really cute. So, and then this one, it came with the little jingle bell and little felt little felt hearts that go on to embellish. So, and then here is a couple cottage garden samplings. This one is Christmas sampler. I think they picked too dark of a fabric for this pattern, for the model at least. But it has the alphabet and it says A for angel, B for Bethlehem, you know, it goes through the whole alphabet. And then here's another one, is Christmas Sampler 2. That one you can see better. And I was so, this was like the first thing that I found in the store, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be good, because I have been planning on buying this. It's the Tiny Town Nativity. There's a little better look at it. And so they show you can either like finish it flat or like in a drum. I was so happy to find that. I never seen these before, but it's the Annie B's Folk Art 9-part Snowman series. Seems like all the parts are in there. So here is another Primrose Cottage. A little mice. I found a shepherd's bush. It's for one of those Mad for Plaid bags from like Fat Quarter Shop. I need to get one of those. I'd like to stitch them. It seems like that would be fun. And then I think this is the last Primrose Cottage that I found. And then these are epic pattern finds. Look at this one. The Shores of Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. I believe, I know Liz from Hello from Liz Matthews. She's a cross-stitch designer. She took over her family's business that they owned Cottage House Samplings. Her aunt did, and she took that over so her aunt could retire. I think they re-released this one, and she has it to where the blocks are separate or something. So I don't know. If you're interested, go check it out. And then last but not least, this is a big sampler. Queenstown Sampler Designs, Emma Jane Kelter. A reproduction of Chambersburg, Franklin County, PA sampler. I just thought that was really pretty. Cover my face so you can see it. All the big houses. I'm sure, yeah, there's like a lot of like history to this. As Jacob was a peddler who traveled through the Pennsylvania and Maryland mountains. Emma Jane Kelter worked the sampler in the 11th year of her age. It's like one of those reproduction samplers. Like there was an original and somebody recharted it. So that is it. That was an epic haul. So epic. I am so happy with that creative reuse store. I am definitely gonna go back. It's gonna be dangerous. I texted my husband, I was like, don't be mad. But I'm really excited with the fabric that I found. That was a score, definitely. Everything was a score. That is it, I guess. Plans wise, I'm hoping to get more progress on the sow that, I didn't even tell you the name of that pattern. I'm hoping to get more progress on the summer bird, or the bird's summer. That's what this is called. Just because it's a bigger pattern, and I don't, to be honest, it's hard for me to work on like bigger stuff like this because it's more of a production, I guess. Like I gotta make sure I'm counting correctly, and gotta sit there, and it's just hard, especially when like I have little ones running around and stuff, but it's okay, we'll get it done one day. But I would like to get a little more progress and participate in Lauren's sow for her birthday. And I'd like to get more progress on the American Berry, just because I'd like to pass along, you know, the Stitchy kindness. You know, somebody was kind enough to send that to me, and so. And then I would like to get the 2 socks cast on. It's too bad it's not at least 1 pair finished. It's half of 2 pairs. So I gotta cast those socks on before I get distracted. Hopefully I'll be able to do that this weekend. Hopefully I can get this video out pretty soon, because it's Friday night. So I'm surrounded by stitchy goodness. I'm so blessed. Thank you all. Thank you everyone for liking, sharing, commenting. I love, you know, interacting with y'all in the comments. It means a lot to me, you know, just to have that connection, connecting with other stitchy people. So I hope you enjoy that too. Anyway, that's all I had to share. Hope y'all have a great day, and I hope you create something you love today. Bye.